garage today working on the LS Jeep. Now this is probably going to be the last LS video just for a little while. The swap is starting to wrap up. In my last video, we took it for its very first test drive. It was a little chaotic because Ben had the gas pedal in his hand. I was driving. We didn't have the intake set up. So we've made some changes since then. So let's catch you guys up to speed and then let's talk about what we're going to be jumping into in today's video. Since the last video, the gas pedal has been mounted. I no longer have to rely on Ben to hold the gas pedal in his hand and give it gas for me in the passenger seat.
I thought it was pretty fun.
It was different.
Very unsafe. I was thinking we could either leave it like that or maybe mount
it on the passenger side.
Mount a gas pedal on the,
Has anyone done that? Like mounted the gas, like,
no,
could you
because
imagine?
It's probably illegal.
No, but off-road, like could you imagine being the gas and then like me trying to steer and brake? I think it'd be hilarious. Okay, nothing crazy, but something to do in the future in a video.
Oh my gosh.
We should do it. So second, we have routed the intake now. It's not the most ideal situation. I do want to route it right around here, come sometime in the future, but that's like a tinker project, I call that. So
just like my Hemi swap.
Yeah, you're gonna tinker.
I'm going to change my setup. It's been a month and a half.
In a couple months, and we'll get to it. And lastly, I think, what's the last thing? Oh yeah, the Flex-Lite fan. Went ahead and wired up the radiator fan. That is good to go. Those three things are done. Now also, from my last video, you guys commented that the engine was running rough, and you guys were absolutely right. Thank you so much for calling it out and letting us know. So we dug into that a little bit, and like looking back on it, you could hear it, but we didn't know if it was the tune because we did a cam swap, so we weren't sure if it was just the tune really bad, the cam, but the GoPro really heightened that misfire sound.
The misfire sound, yeah.
Yes, so we ended up having 3 fuel injectors that are bad, they're still bad, but changed them out, and actually went ahead and changed out all 8 of the fuel injectors, and that was not expected. It was a little pretty penny. It was, I mean, how much did we pay for all 8 of them? Wasn't it close to like 500 bucks?
I think you need to show them the new
dog.
Oh yeah, what else has changed, Cassie?
Oh, we found a stray dog. Well, okay, I found a stray dog.
It's no longer stray.
Come on, Milo. Milo, say hi to the people. We got a new one, so he will be walking around the garage, new shop dog.
He's a little puppy.
He is a little puppy. He was a stray in our neighborhood. He was homeless for like a week. He was covered in fleas, ticks. It was disgusting, but he is now part of the family.
You gotta go back inside now, buddy.
Guys, we got lucky. He is the only homeless puppy who is pretty much potty trained with like no training. I think we got pretty lucky there. So totally back to that LS swap, back to the most important thing.
I heard him scratching at the door, and we're talking about what's been changed since the last video. And
so that is one of them. Now, so we got all 8 fuel injectors changed out. Cost some money, but it was totally worth it. And now the engine is running great. It really does sound amazing. I'm not lying to you this time when I say that. Now, today, we want to make sure that we can drive the Jeep, right? So we've got all the wiring set up to go to the GM computer. Jeep wiring is still over there. Going to deal with that a little bit later. And this Jeep, we're going to end up going with the Terminator kit. I know I've mentioned that before, and it's not in yet. But until then, I want to be able to drive this down the road because I have other projects that will be happening between then and now. Some suspension upgrades I think you guys are really going to like, but I'll get into all that later. So today we are going to have a tuner come out and tune the GM computer for all the crazy stuff we got going on. So the tuner guy is on his way. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of footage. I'm not sure if he's gonna wanna be on camera or if something's gonna happen with the kids and I'm gonna run off. So I'm gonna see what I can get. But after he's done, we're gonna take it for a test drive the right way, the legal way, I think. So let's see if this guy comes here in a few minutes, which he will be, and let's get going. All right, he is here. Let's get this Jeep tuned. I will see you guys in a little bit.
Letting it go into closed loop so we can start seeing what it's actually really doing, and it just takes a couple seconds. Then we can start seeing the live data, and it's saying that it's running lean. It could be just because you're pulling extra air because of the cam, or it could be that you have a slight vacuum leak that's actually doing that. But the way it's running, it sounds amazing. I think it's just going to need very slight modifications. I won't go too hot on the tune, but we'll make it happen for you. For this, when you have cam, it's all about idle tuning, making sure you have the proper air. You're not going to be following up the plugs. Okay. So that when you get on it, it's not going to be like, and then you're like, what's going on? And then it cleans out. To give you, so you guys can look at this, you would go into your VCM scanner, and the VCM scanner is basically like a scan tool. Like to check your engine data, and like if your computer said, hey, I have an issue, you would actually read it here.
Yeah, I think I did this when we were doing his Hemi.
The Hemi?
I was on the computer like starting it and we'd go drive and he'd like, ooh, full throttle or slow.
Yeah, you were the laptop holder.
Yeah.
Basically, anytime you see, especially in Chevy, this is your left, your right, bank 1, bank 2, and it's telling us that your long-term fuel trims are maxed out already. So key forward right now, we already know they're maxed out. Even with the engine off, we already know it's maxed out. We can reset them, but the reason it says it's maxed out, it's saying, hey, I gotta add all this fuel, so that when it goes up, it's adding fuel to compensate for either a vacuum leak or because of the cams pulling in more air or something's up, and it's like, hey, something's weird here. And if it's going down this way, that means it's subtracting fuel. You know what I mean? I would rather have it, even when I'm tuning, if it's subtracting just like 1%, 2%, it's okay. You know what I mean? Because it's just making up for this. Short term should always be bouncing. You always see them like just bouncing here. When these are logged out, these are already holding perfect. So that's what I'm saying. You're so close to being perfect on this side that you can actually see these bouncing correctly. We just got to tell it, hey, we need to just tune the air in this area, and then it should be dialed in. Engine sounds good, so I feel confident that we can actually start tuning on it. And I already saw some things tweaked on this computer. So speed limiter is set at 256 miles an hour. Obviously,
yeah.
I don't know if you guys can go that fast, but it's set there. So that's just the first thing that we always do when we're just doing base tuning. Is like, we just take off pretty much all the limiters. Right, non-VATs, they already deleted your VAT system and threw that into your protocol. So they already disabled your catalytics. We can get a little bit lower, and then we'll start making some more modifications.
The LS is finally tuned. He was here for about 2 hours working, doing his tuner thing. I'm not an engine tuner, but he was here. He was using the HP Tuner software. I know he made some changes to the idle RPM because it was idling a little high. He made some changes for the cam. All in all, it took about 2 hours. He was pretty great. So if you guys need a tuner in the RGV area, let us know. I think his name is Arnold.
Arnold. Really cool guy. And
he
made this thing sounds good.
It does. He made it sound amazing, and I promise you guys it does. And I'm going to turn it on for you guys so you can hear it. Hopefully the wind doesn't drown out anything. Let's just give it a test fire. Oh, if you guys need a tuner in the RGV, shoot me a message on Instagram. I'll pass this information along. It's pretty great. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I guess I'll get back here.
Get in the back. Get in the back.
It's so windy.
Back it up.
And it doesn't sound like a misfire.
No misfire.
Sounds good.
It sounds so good.
So I don't know if the wind noise is, the wind really distorts the GoPro. So I'm gonna do a clip with
your phone here so we can see. It is really windy out today.
A lot better.
It sounds fantastic, and
I'll rev it up. You listen to it from the back.
All right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you go rev it up with your foot this time. Really good. It is time to go on a test drive and see what it's got. Take you guys on a real one this time, not a makeshift foot in the handle.
No, so the
test drive.
The only thing that sounds bad is the power steering pump.
Oh, it's got the power steering line, which apparently is very common in the LS's, right?
So windy.
Yeah, probably can't even hear me. Just whatever.
You can hear it though. The
I don't know. The GoPro should be able to pick it up. They pick up everything, so hopefully it picked it up. So let's get in the Jeep and let's get going on this test drive.
It sounds so much better now that it's actually a V8 instead of a V5.
Yeah. I floored it. I think I was in second gear when I floored it.
Yeah.
And my hat! She lifted. You can literally feel the Jeep lift up.
Do it again.
There it goes. Whatever. That's so great. All right, so we found a little back road. We're gonna see what it can do. Just kind of give it
Accelerate a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'll hop out.
Hop on out.
Yeah. Man, she sounds good. That was kind of weird. So from what I just saw there, it kind of lagged a little bit on that initial startup. And then once it started moving, you could see it actually spun tires right there. So I don't know if we need to play with the tune a little bit because it didn't really open up fully until I'd say like at least half throttle. What's she doing? I like your little snake you got going on there. So yeah, it looks like, was that full throttle?
Yeah.
It's weird. It didn't like take off until it like built up a little bit.
It wasn't like a full,
and it like
shift,
once you were moving,
yeah.
It started spinning the tires.
It did it?
Yeah, that's odd. Really.
Like, brr, 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 and then it was like the RPM for. I mean, I can hold it. Should I hold it? Oh, we don't have RPM. Damn it, the dash isn't freaking. I was gonna show you guys. Ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to play around with it and figure out why there's kind of a delayed response when you give it gas and almost floor it. But we can play with that later. This thing has so much power. I feel like I haven't talked about like the difference between going from my old, the 4.0, to the fantastic freaking V8. It is so much power. I mean, driving it just feels better. I can't imagine like off-road, like if we get in some dunes or something.
As long as we can figure out that like full throttle, that, you know, delayed.
We're gonna have to figure that out exactly. I mean, I can't figure that out here, but I can play with it a little bit, see if I ease into it.
Ease into it. I'm gonna walk up there, ease into it, and then full, like,
okay, just
floor
don't stand in the middle, because the...
Yeah, don't hit me.
Yeah.
A lot better. Yeah.
Ben's gonna drive it real quick. Let's see what he thinks. I can't trust you, Ben. I know you're watching this. I don't know what you're gonna do. Holy mosquito! Get out of here! It's summer in Texas. Go.
Mosquitoes?
No.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to figure it out in the tune because
that's what
once it opens up, I wish we could see the RPM, but like,
yep.
It opens up like, here we go, ready?
Here.
So we're in second right now. Let's
second gear.
Right there.
Yep. Okay. I would switch with you, but get away from these mosquitoes. I'm sorry.
Maybe that's just the cam. Let's see what it's on pavement. Ready? So we're in second gear. That was better.
Yeah, that was better.
I don't know, 0 to death wobble pretty quick.
Yeah. But it sounds good. It drives good. How do you think, Ben? What do you think?
I like it.
You're driving it?
It has a good sound too.
It does.
And like, if you just want to accelerate, you can just lightly get on. Okay, well that's not lightly getting on it.
You can just lightly get on the gas.
All right.
We are back at home. Test drive is over. Let's get in the garage and kind of talk about kind of what's next. I got some suspension upgrades happening. Maybe review what we just talked about in the car, because I have no idea if you guys could hear any of that over the wind. As you guys just saw, the Jeep sounds healthy. It drives very, very well. I'm very happy with where it's at right now. Now, the only thing that there's no concern, it's just we need to figure out why it's doing it and get it fixed just a little bit, is that dead stop acceleration, or 0 to full throttle. I don't even know what the right term is for it, but we're gonna have to ask our tuner guy if he can come out and maybe like change some of the settings. So Ben and I did a little bit of research, and we're best guess is that it's the torque management system. Basically, we think that the engine or the computer is pulling a little bit of timing to protect the transmission.
Because like, I mean, the only time it feels like that is when you're from a dead stop, you're in first gear, and you just hammer it, you nail it.
Gas it, yeah.
And then it just, the engine sounds fine, everything's, there's no codes or anything. It's just, it hits a certain threshold and then it takes off. So torque management would make sense, and you can dial that back.
Yeah, so if any of you guys are like seasoned tuners or have done this swap before and had the same problems, let us know in the comments below what you think it is or what it was for you guys. Other than that, the LS swap, it's coming along really good. Now, the gauges are not working. Now, I could go ahead and wire up my Jeep computer and like the Jeep harness into the standalone harness to get my gauges working, but I'm waiting for that Holley Terminator kit, and I'm not gonna wire this one up just to take it apart
do
and
all
put
that
it back
wiring,
together.
cutting, then to undo it.
Yeah, not happening. So in the meantime, I'm using an app on my phone. It's like a Bluetooth plug-in to the computer, and then from there you can look at your RPMs, your GPS speed, and all that good stuff. So, and you could run with that forever if you really wanted to. I'll throw a link in the video description below. Also, below in the video description is going to be a link to a full parts list that I have used so far in this swap. Tons of you guys have been asking about it. I finally put it together. I'm gonna do a recap video, but in the meantime, I got something for you guys, so go check it out. Now, after the LS swap, right? So kind of what's coming up next, I am going to be doing a long arm kit very, very soon. Also got some new shocks because I need a little bit more travel. So there's some other like Jeep specific videos coming up very, very soon.
Yeah,
outside of the LS.
V8.
No, V8s all day. V8 swap the world.
V8 swap everything. The Gladiator needs it.
The Gladiator does need one. That won't happen for a little while, but got that coming up. And of course, as always, the Charger, guys. Love the Charger, but it's been raining here nonstop. Haven't had the opportunity. I've got a pile of parts in the garage right there that I will be working on this week. So the Charger is gonna get some much needed love. Other than that, that is it for this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And as always, my name's Cassie, and keep Jeep and classy.
You gotta show them the engine one more time.
Show them the engine one more time.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
It's beautiful.